The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome to the David Pakman Show. Big show today, Lewis. It's a lot of weird stories, a lot of interesting stories. We are live on YouTube as we are every Monday through Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. With us are a lot of viewers from the I Love It When I Wake Up in the Morning and Barack Obama is President Facebook page and the We Survive Bush, You'll Survive Obama Facebook page. Everything okay, guys? What's going on? Lewis is walking around, and I have no idea what's happening here. Lewis, give me a sense of what's happening.
We're good. We just have a battery problem on my camera.
I see. Very good. So let's talk about Herman Cain. Herman Cain is now a newly hired Fox News contributor. They seem to be hiring a whole variety of people, including Scott Brown, and they got rid of Sarah Palin. So big changes are happening at Fox. And Herman Cain says, when asked by Bill O'Reilly, how is this guy so popular? How is President Obama so popular? He says, well, we have a severe ignorance problem, and he received the vote of 51% of the electorate, which was misled enough to vote for him. Now, of course, all of the facts completely contradict Herman Cain's assertions, and we'll go through them piece by piece. But first, Lewis, just to set this up, let's look at what Herman Cain had to say on the O'Reilly factor. Here we go.
Than getting results.
Why is he popular, though, Mr. Cain? I mean, the guy has really not solved many problems. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Right.
So why is he so popular?
Yeah, tell us.
He is so popular because 51% of the voters were misled enough to vote for him.
Oh, come on. You think we're that?
49%.
I mean, after that long campaign that you and all the other Republican hopefuls engaged in, and then Mitt Romney has $1 billion to spend on his advertising, and you're still telling me that the American people were misled? I mean, how dumb
They
are
were
we?
Yes, Bill. Well, we are that dumb. Now, keep in mind, not everybody. Remember, he got 51% of the popular vote. So when you say all of America, no,
you know what I'm talking about.
51% of the people. I know what you're talking about.
The majority sets
I know what
the
you're
tone.
talking about.
The majority
Yes.
sets the tone and the direction of the country.
Here we go.
Yes. And we have a severe ignorance problem with the people who are so mesmerized by his popularity that they are not looking at the facts.
Right. So Herman Cain is the exact wrong he's a member of the exact wrong party to be making this argument, and he's making this argument on the exact wrong network.
But he's absolutely right.
We do have an ignorance problem in this country. That's right. But he's making the wrong one. So remember, during his own presidential campaign, Herman Cain mocked a foreign policy question about Uzbekistan, calling it Becky Stan. And he insisted he doesn't need to know who the country's leader is. He also was completely perplexed by a question on Libya, asking the reporter, which one is Libya? Remember that incident?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's not really the right guy to ask about ignorance. But let's listen to what he had to say. Historically, Republicans and Fox News viewers hold more misperceptions than Democratic voters who get their news elsewhere. So this dates all the way back to a PIPA study back in 2004 and countless studies since, which showed that Republicans and Fox News viewers are significantly more likely to have believed that weapons of mass destruction were found in Iraq, that Saddam Hussein was connected to 9/11, that the world supported going into Iraq. And we've had countless studies since showing that these misperceptions, just flat out misperceptions, things that are just not true, are believed at much higher rates among people who primarily get their news from Fox News and among Republican voters. And this goes even recently. Republicans way more likely to think President Obama was not born in the U.S. Also, Fox News viewers way more likely to think that, and any number of other misconceptions. So we have an ignorance problem, Lewis. The problem is it's on Herman Cain's side, and particularly on the TV network that Herman Cain works for.
Right. Now, if we did not have an ignorance problem, Obama probably would have won 80% of the popular
That's exactly
vote.
right. That's exactly right. That's the incredible thing.
Yeah.
But these guys will never get it, Natan.
Yeah, I mean, anecdotally, I know uninformed people on both sides. I know people who give really poor reasons for having voted for Obama, and obviously the same on the opposite side. But it's indisputable, according to the evidence, that the more education you have, the more likely you are to be liberal.
Yes, no question about it.